Terre Haute has quite the history when it comes to racing, but before cars hit the tracks to show their speed, horses did. And one horse in particular made history and called Vigo County home. The Storm Team's Kevin Orpert zeroes in on this standout horse as we continue to celebrate Vigo County's Bicentennial.
Memorial Stadium is one of Vigo County's most recognizable landmarks. But in the late 1800s, it was the site of a famous horse racing track, the Four Corners track, where more than 10,000 people might gather to watch the races. I spoke with local historian Mike McCormick, who told me just how big horse racing got at the Four Corners track.
Terre Haute, Indiana, William Imes and that group put together the Terre Haute Futurity, which was the richest horse race in the United States in 1894. And they had purses of $94,000, which was kind of amazing.
But perhaps the most notable thing about the Four Corners track is that a world's record was broken by a horse named Axtell.
Axtell was lived in Independence, Iowa, owned by a guy by the name of Charles W. Williams. And he was obviously a very promising 2-year-old. Then he comes to Terre Haute on August 11th of 1889 and breaks the 3-year-old record and the stallion record for trotters in the same race.
Axtell's performance was so impressive, he was portrayed by none other than the world-famous printing firm of Currier and Ives. And local investors set out to buy Axtell, and they did for a lot of money.
$105,000. Well, in the history of horse racing of any kind, thoroughbred harness racing, no one had paid anywhere close to that for a horse.
There was only one problem. Axtell developed a bad leg, and that record-setting race was the last he ever ran. But that wasn't the end of Axtell in the world of racing.
And then he ended up being one of the greatest sires that ever lived. Axtell stayed here, lived here, died here.
So where did Axtell live and die after his racing career? It was at a horse farm called Warren Park Farm, which was located at what is now Honey Creek Mall. And according to much historical speculation, somewhere beneath the asphalt rests one of the greatest horses in the history of racing, Axtell.